Cantinho Benfiquista. É onde o sonho se conquista. O bem e o Benfica, unidos na voz. Aqui somos muitos, mas sentimos como um só. Benfiquista, é onde o sonho se conquista. O bem e o Benfica, unidos na voz. Aqui somos muitos, mas sentimos como um só.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to episode 225, Missed Opportunities of Cantinho Benfiquista podcast. As always, I'm your host. I'm Mike. I'm joined by Bill. I'm joined by Belio, and Kenny may join us. Jason is not available today. Gentlemen, I'll start from left to right. Bill, welcome back. How are you?
Introduce me twice.
Yeah, well done. Bill and Belio. I love it.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to read something. How are you?
I'm Oscar, by the way. I'm not a Bill or Belio.
Did I say? Oh, I said
Bill
Abilio and Bill.
and then
my bad.
yeah.
Oscar's here for those of you who are listening. Bill, how are you?
Doing frustrated. Feel like
Yeah.
we're back in the same spot we were last year. So
Yeah,
this is fun.
welcome to the misery train. Oscar, how are you?
Well, I could have been worse, but
Good.
if it could have been a blowout, and I would have been here pissed off and probably throwing stuff against the wall. So it could have been worse, but pretty pissed off still.
Good. I guess we can look at the silver lining. For those of you who are tuning in, be sure to follow, like, share, subscribe on all the platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button on this video. It doesn't cost you anything. We've got a lot to talk about, although it's just one game. But we obviously have the 2-2 draw at home against Porto at the weekend. The plan was to go live on Sunday evening, but I'm glad we took the time. I was not in the mental space to talk about this game on Sunday. I was close to stopping watching the game before it even ended. So I'm glad we took a couple of days to get through this. We'll talk about the game, a lot of different topics involving that game. For those of you who are tuning in live, just leave us your thoughts, your comments, your feedback, your suggestions, your opinions, and make this interactive for us. We appreciate your
session for all.
Yeah, everyone's welcome and to share your thoughts. We're also live on Instagram. The comments don't carry over, but I'm watching the comments here. And for some reason, it's not able to go live on Twitter at the moment, or X. I'll keep trying to reload it, but hopefully people jump across on other platforms, or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Kick. Just for some reason, StreamYard's not able to load into X at the moment, but we'll keep trying. E para a malta que esteja a ver em português, juntem-se a nós, participem aqui nesta nossa conversa. Deixem os vossos comentários, as vossas opiniões. Todos percebemos português, por isso esteja à vontade. Podem deixar os comentários em português também, não têm que deixar o comentário em inglês. Por isso esteja à vontade, participem e deixem-nos saber como é que estão a sentir aí desse lado. Benfica 2, Porto 2 at the weekend. Starting 11, I feel, picked itself with some of the injuries. Trubin in goal, Dal, Otamendi, Tomás Araújo, Dedic, Enzo, and Rios coming in the midfield, replacing Auschwitz, who was injured, and Barreiro, who seems to have some sort of knock or potentially fatigue. Sheldrup, Prestiani on the wings, Rafa in behind Pavlidis. I have some opinions on this 11, but not specifically just from today. But Oscar, I'll start with you. Thoughts on the 11, and kind of initial thoughts on the game.
All right, 11. The first thing that pops up is the midfield, right? We paid a lot of money for these guys. We invested a lot, and potentially the most expensive midfields we've had in quite a while. And I think they tried this with Laj when Laj was here, and these guys did not work well together. I don't know if I can remember a game where these two actually had a phenomenal game together, both in midfield. That I can, and they played plenty of times already together, right? So without taking Freddie out of the lineup, it basically kills the whole team. And I think Mourinho said it very well at the end of the game. He cements the what Benfica is about. Like, he basically guides, he's the motor of that team. So taking Freddie out is killing for us. It's a killer for us. I thought, like, our wingers, I know, and Mourinho explained that as well, that some of the guys coming back from injury are not 100% to play 90 minutes or even start the game. But Sheldrup is playing pretty well. I think the best out of all the wingers we had, Sheldrup is probably the one impressing the most. Bresciani is the guy that runs, and I don't think does anything with it. Like, it's somebody that frustrates me. He can hustle, but he just doesn't do enough for me. For me, a winger is somebody that either assists or scores, and he does none of them.
We'll get to those stats.
Okay. And then I think another disappointment for the game, Rafa. Pavlidis, I'm already said that he is on a very, and I think you called it out as well, since the Porto miss in the top of Portugal. Pavlidis has been on a I don't know, man, awful trend. Like, it can't get out of it. Like, either he scores a PK or he doesn't score goals at all. It's like it's
he scored the goal against Santa Clara, but apart from that, you could tell he's just lacking confidence.
It's something's going on. I see him pulling out of this the box a lot, going to the wing, to the side of the.
I think he's just trying to get involved at that point. Like, it's
correct, but like, he's got players around him that should be doing that job, and he should be in the box to score goals. Is this confident that bad that he needs to go back to get the ball? So, because ball on his feet, he actually does pretty well. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he
links up play well.
He links to play well. He actually does some good fakes on. It gets away from guys, gets away from pressure. He does pretty well. It's like, but it's not his job. His job is in the box to score goals. So like snap out of it, man. That's your
problem.
Job
is like the service into the box sucked.
It's been shit.
Like, the fact that it took Ivanovic in the 80th minute to get a decent ball crossed in. Like, that was the first decent ball, and Paredo just happened to be there, right? But like, it took a striker to go out wide to play a decent ball into the box. Like, it's crazy.
But you notice how Paredo actually runs into that ball. Nobody covering him. Like, you don't see Pavlidis doing those runs or getting open like that. And that's something we used to see a lot of Jardel and Lietzen and stuff like that. The real killers, the strikers, they used to get behind the ball, get an open space, be always where the ball's going to end up. And we don't see Pavlidis doing that. Like, I saw a few balls like that. Sheldrup got away from a few guys in the first half, put him across the box. And, you know, a striker reads that game, is where the ball is going to go. It's like almost like the ball finds him because he's in the right spots. And Pavlidis is nowhere to be found. So that's frustrating to me. Another frustrating point that I had taken note is Otamendi. What the fuck was up with Otamendi? Like,
so bad, dude.
It legit.
Bad.
And then obviously I'm joking when I say this, but it brought me back to when we first signed him, and we're like, this guy is
Porto
guy's coming here to fuck us over because he's a Porto guy, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm not. But I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, are you that, like, do you want to really kill these guys that bad that you're like committing in midfield? Like, you're legit running to midfield to do a tackle, and then you're basically leaving the whole field behind you.
He's good for like one of those a game, and then tends to like back off. This game, dude, it was like he had like 3 or 4 of them and got burnt on 2 of them.
And we're lucky Porto didn't put the game away on some of those chances. We're lucky that the guys Porto doesn't have enough this year to put the game away. Like, they could easily have done it. So to me, it was a frustrating game to watch. A frustrating game to watch. First half was probably, and plus another bad point. And I think I'm talking all negative. The fans, like the fans. What, like that first half when the flares were being thrown, the game was stopped like 2 or 3 times during the first half.
Dude, and the first time they did it, we were on top. We were playing
correct.
Exactly. My idea, and I said it to you guys on the text. Like, Benfica had in mind, we have to start this game strong. We have to go right on top of them. Don't let them breathe. And I actually thought we were trying to do that. Like, I thought Benfica came in with a lot of pressure, you know, getting a lot of the ball. and then the stupid fans, which they are fucking stupid
Kill
fans,
the game.
Kill the game for 3-4 minutes, basically almost like somebody pretended to be injured so the game could stop because they're under pressure. They didn't help Benfica, they helped Porto.
Correct.
Absolutely. And then Porto scored right away.
They did it again in the 80th when we scored.
Yeah, it's to me,
the game stopped again.
But like, which helped them again because
same thing happened to us last year. I don't know if you guys remember the game against Sporting at home last year. Same shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. Stop.
It's just frustrating because like instead of helping, they are absolutely making it worse. Absolutely making it worse. And then the third thing is, and we'll probably get to this, but the ref, like, how do you give 6 minutes at the end of the game when we're freaking like we had all those stops, the stoppage right there on the goal, the stoppage, and it's 6 minutes at the end of the game. Like, do you want this game to end quick before Benfica scores? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I didn't get that, but there's a lot of subtopics that you mentioned we'll get to. But Bill, what were your overall thoughts of the game, or what would you add to what Oscar said?
I mean, it frustrating just sums it up, right? Like that first half was up until the flare incident, like Oscar mentioned. I thought we came out well and we pressed well and we were winning the ball higher up the field. And then the flares and the 5-minute stoppage killed momentum, and then from that point on, we never really regained that momentum. And we were always chasing Otamendi's kind of suicide run dive. Like I don't understand them. Like he's so far out of position, getting sucked like 30 yards up the field and it's just like someone that experienced, been around for so long, should understand like when to go in and when not to go in. And like I said, he's typically good for like one of them a game. He'll just get caught and go. But this game, it was like he had like 3 or 4 of them, and it's just like you would think after like the second one, all right, I got to calm down a little bit, back off a bit. But no, he just fucking kept going, dude. And I don't know if he was actually injured when he came off. It might have been one of those things where he was like, dude, just get me off the fucking field, because his head was his head was like all over the place.
He said it was a nerve issue that he felt that he already had previously.
Nerves. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if a guy like him with his experience has nerves, then we've got a bigger problem. But he said it was an issue that he had felt some muscle or some nerve that re-aggravated, and he said he was fine, but he felt it. But I mean, we've seen Otamendi in games where you could tell he's done with it. Porto away from home last year, and he fucking got a stupid red card at midfield where he didn't need to. So I mean, I think if he wanted to come off, I thought after he got a yellow card, I thought he was in the mental state that he was gonna do something stupid. I'm surprised he didn't end up doing that. But just some talking points on that game. So Oscar mentioned Rafa. I thought again he was disappointing. I don't know if it's because he hasn't played competitive ball for a long time, but he's had bursts of individual moments since he joined us. But overall, like this weekend, he had a couple games where like he could have just won at the beginning of the game. Like he has one break at the beginning of the game before the stoppage that if that's Rafa 5 years ago, he's in the box with that ball and he creates a problem, and he barely got to the edge of the box before he got closed down, and nothing came of it. And then one in the second half where he gets the ball by himself breaking into their midfield, and he like steps on the ball and like loses it. And
he also had one in like he had the one in the PK spot where he tried to lay it off.
Oh, he tried to lay it off, but I'll give him that. But it's just like the ball carrying is like what he's known for, right? Like carrying that ball at speed and creating problems. And he had 2 clear-cut ones that, I mean, you could just tell that something's not right. Again, he wasn't playing competitive ball for probably 2 months, so I don't know if that's part of it. And the frustration for me associated to that is the fact that, I mean, you can call it what you want, but if you go back and look, Sudakov was growing in confidence over a couple of games, right? And at that time that he comes in is when Sudakov comes out of the team, right? And there are 2 different types of players. Sudakov isn't or hasn't met the expectation that's been created around him. One, because of what he did before he joined. Two, because of the price tag that he came with. And those are all fair points and valid points, and I don't think anyone can deny those. But I think it's clear and obvious that he was growing and he was having a more of an impact playing in that 10 role versus playing wide, and you end up taking him out. Now, there's rumors that he's injured. He can't play full 90 minutes. I don't know if that's the case, but it's just unfortunate to see that he's fallen out of the team. And unfortunately, Rafa's not giving us what we need at this moment in that position. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the 2 goals. So first goal, I think you guys talked about it, right? Is Otamendi comes out guns blazing like a bozo, gets caught out of position. But I think our defensive line needs to be a little bit better in terms of awareness and closing that gap. Yes, Otamendi makes a mistake, but the mistake's made at midfield, and no one realizes, hey, we've got to shuffle over. Tomas gets over quick enough, right? And the shot actually ends up deflecting off of his shin. But like Dahl's got to read that better, right? Tuck inside. So I feel like Otamendi is the root of the problem in that goal. But I think there's other people that could be at fault after the fact of the gap that he left there. The first goal or the second goal, curious to get your guys' thoughts. I know there's been a lot of talk about Otamendi got skinned. Yes, he did. Also, not forget that he's on a yellow card, so I think he needs to obviously be cautious there. I thought he was just going to fucking clean him out and get a red card, if I'm being honest. But who do you guys blame more in that situation? I have my opinion, but curious to hear what you guys think, and whoever wants to go first can go first.
I mean, it's similar to, I remember last year, I forget, I think it was the Barca game.
Barcelona, the last goal for Rafinha.
Like, right. Like, it's similar to that, right? Like, we get sucked up and leave one back when, like, from day one of fucking playing soccer, you're never outnumbered like that, right? You always have 2. If there's 1 up there, you have 2. If there's 2 up there, you have 3. Like, you always overnumber them. So, like, part of it is on the manager as well, not like at least like shouting onto the field to like be like, hey, we're too far forward. Someone like sit deeper, either Enzo drop, or I have to look at the replay to see like where everyone was, but like he's got it starts with him to be able to like say, and same thing with Otamendi, like he's the captain. He sees everything in front of him. He realizes he's the only one back. He should be vocal enough to be like, hey, someone has to drop deep. Like we can't get too sucked forward. So to me, like the 2 guys, Mourinho, Otamendi, the most experienced guys in the Portuguese league, and both somehow don't like notice it or correct it quick enough, and then we get burnt. Like Otamendi there, like he's trying to contain him as long as he can. By the time he lunges in, he's at like the PK spot. Like he can't assume the guy's gonna fake the shot and cut back. Like he has to, at that point, he's stuck. Like he has to make a tackle. And I mean, credit to the kid, 17 or 18-year-old kid taking that fake shot and cutting it back to put it away. Like credit to him. But I think at the end of the day, it's Mourinho and Otamendi for not realizing how badly out of position the team was and not making some kind of correction on the fly to have someone else drop back.
Oscar, do you agree?
I do. I'm trying to like see back right now, like how that play was originated. Like I'm trying to picture because I
see
was
where everyone is. Yeah,
because
Rios is the only one that got back.
I know, but like where that play originate from? Like, was it a goal kick? Was it a like?
No, it was open play. We were in the box. It was basically an attack, and we were in their box.
I think Tomas was sucked up because he at one point had the ball and then played it out wide.
And then Enzo went to volley it, and it was a 50-50 challenge, and like the ball came out, and then they played the through ball.
When we had the play where Berciani could have scored. He could have scored when Pavlidis gave it to the side, and then the goalkeeper picked it up and just started the play from there.
No, I think the ball bounced up. The ball bounced up, and Enzo. It might have actually been from a corner kick originally, but I know the ball bounced up, came outside the box, and Enzo went to volley it or make a play on the ball, and I can't remember who it was on the Porto side, but they basically came together.
My question here, Yeah, Otamendi, I get it. He got scanned, but anybody on that play, because the guy faked he's going to shoot with his right foot because he's righty, and he cut it back. Otamendi committed to his left, to the guy's right, which is anybody would have done that because he thought he was going to shoot the ball at that point. Correct. So yeah, he got scanned. But my question is, if it's a corner, or even our players are all up top, right? Why is Otamendi the last man? One.
Right. Or the only one.
The only one. Well, and he was usually on the corner on a play like
we want to have
we have the center backs there and we have the cornerbacks.
Yeah, so it must have not been a corner.
It was open play. It
must have been open play. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just looked at the open play and everybody's inside the box.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone got forward.
So like no fast guy was in the back. We had basically Otamendi tracking back by himself. Yeah. So if this was from a free kick or a corner from our end, because I can't remember right now.
It wasn't a corner. It had to be open play. Otamendi would have been in the box for a free kick or a corner.
Correct. So as why they are able to go from their inside their half, which is like half of their half.
Not even their half. They're 18.
It wasn't even half. The pass is made almost just outside their box, and then he's free.
Right, outside the 18. So as to why we have nobody between the 18 other than Otamendi in our box makes absolutely no sense. So this could be a coaching issue. It could be a coaching issue. This can fall on Mourinho. Like how do you not play? How do you not tell your guys this cannot happen? And he said it at the end when the conference at the end. He goes, my thing is with the experience of the players we have. How is Otamendi doing that diagonal run across to be the only guy tracking back on this one-on-one? So Mourinho gets it. But how are these guys falling for this? Makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, I think Mourinho's obviously at fault because it's his coaching staff. But I think those are things that his assistants need to be aware of. Again, it's open play. One, I think somebody on the bench. There's got to be a defensive coach or someone that's aware of those types of moments in the game. You can't leave him exposed like that, especially that early in the game. Like it was in the first half. It was what they scored that goal was in the 40th minute, right? So like you're just coming up on halftime, you down 1-0 at home, you can't concede another goal, especially a stupid goal. So I would put that on the coaching staff, but I'd say for me the bigger culprit there is Otamendi. Like as the captain, as the last guy back, with your experience, like you've got to be able to read that moment and be like, hold on a second. Like there's no one else here. Like someone's got to fill that gap in the midfield for me, or someone's got to drop off a little bit to cut that off, because like, again, he makes a pass from just outside his box and then it's just a foot race.
Yeah.
And he's on a yellow card.
Yeah.
And the second guy that was the closest to Otamendi from our side is Rios, right?
Yeah.
Tracking
back. He's like 30 yards away.
Yeah.
Dude, did you please if you have any access to technology right now or fucking
the ref,
please go see Rios running back. The ref the fucking Christmas tree runs faster than him.
Yeah, but you have to I've seen so many comments. You need to also understand the context. Go look at how much Rios had run in the game before that play and go look how much running the ref makes.
Rios was sprinting back. You could tell he was sprinting back, and the Christmas tree beat him.
Correct. But the difference is when you're playing at a high intensity for 40 minutes as a player and you're a referee and you're just occupying small pockets of space and you're not sprinting or working hard. Oscar, you've played soccer just like all of us.
I have played soccer.
People who are making those comments on social media of those videos are basically just trolling, because if you really have a head on your shoulders, yes, the referee gets back before him, but the referee hasn't been playing high intensity ball for 40 minutes. It's completely different.
Dude, Rios looks like
I'm not saying that he doesn't track back fast enough.
Do you know when we had Maxi Pereira and his arms and legs moved
faster than his body goes? Yes. I'm not arguing that. Rios isn't a guy that's, he's not a Dedic, he's not a Ba who's going to fucking beat you for speed. Yes, the referee makes it back, but people being like, oh, the referee's faster than, like, dude,
I would like to see a 50-yard dash.
Oh my God. So stupid.
I know for a fact he beats Enzo.
You might be able, yeah, because Enzo's the one that gets taken
yeah.
out at the edge of the box. I don't know who was next.
I know, no,
him.
I'm talking about.
Oh, he's talking about a race.
On a race.
Oh yeah,
Do a
yeah.
race.
Enzo's not
slow.
a
I can tell
sprinter.
he's slow. No matter if he starts minute 1 or minute 40, he's slow.
Yeah,
now,
he's not a sprinter.
Now I think I'll take a 50-yard dash like with the Piñeiro.
That's fair. You could probably create that with AI these days.
100%.
You can just get some data and just create a video to see who's faster than him. Other talking point here is, I guess before we get to the Prestiani thing, Ivanovic, I thought, came in well. Yeah. I don't know what you guys thought. I mean, he obviously got the assist, but he looked more involved. He looked more up for it. I also don't know if part of that is because I felt like Porto in the second half sat back. I felt like it was a two different games. The first half we started well, and then after the stoppage we didn't do very well, and then the second half I think we looked better, but Porto also sat back, and you just felt that once we got the first one, you felt like that second one was coming. And again, I feel like if the game lasted another 10 minutes, the third one probably would have ended up coming, because they seemed like they were just, all right, let's sit back and let's close things down. With that said, they did have a couple of opportunities on the break where, like you said, Oscar, if their decision making was a little bit better, they probably could have carved us open, well in advance of us scoring the first goal or even the second goal. But what I want to talk about here is Prestiani. So here's a guy he's got 32 appearances this season. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists. He's got a goal August 27th or 23rd against Tondela. He's got 2 assists in a game on October 25th against Aroca. And he's got his second goal November 29th in that comeback win against Nacional. So this guy's, so you got December, January, February, now March, right? So he's got 3 months plus of performances. He's been playing more regularly, and he's not getting assists, nor is he getting goals. And I know that I was talking to some people this week, and they were saying, well, Sheldrup was the same way. He wasn't really contributing, and now look at him. And I get that, but I felt like Sheldrup was at least contributing a little bit more. I feel like Prestiani, in that first half, I thought he was the biggest agitator of the game. I felt like he was up for it. He was taking people on. He was creating problems for Porto. But then comes the decision making, where I felt like every time he had to make a decision, he made the wrong decision. Whether it was a cross, whether it was a shot, whether it was a pass, he would get himself in a good spot, and then his decision would be absolute shit. And like you said, Oscar, a player at Benfica who's playing on the wing has to give you more than just energy and effort. You've got to score goals. You've got to get assists, especially at a time when Pavlidis is in a slump and he's not putting the ball in the back of the net. Fortunately, Sheldrup's been fine in the back of the net, but if not for him, we'd be fucked, right? So I know you mentioned it, Oscar. I'll start with you. At what point do you say, listen, like, I get it, but we need to get something else, right? And Dodi comes in and he gets that shot off. He created some problems for Porto, and Sheldrup gets the rebound. But do you think it's just a matter of time or fitness levels before Prestiani sees the bench and Luka Bacchio comes in?
I think it's as soon as Luka Bacchio is fully healthy, he comes in. Now, it makes no sense for him not to come in. I mean, it would just be like you said, like you need production from these guys. Running around and tackling people and arguing with people and showing garra doesn't win you games. Especially for a winger. A winger, you need those assists. Like every single winger, like the Salvios of the world, the Gaitans, the Di Marias, the Simões, wingers that we've had in the past, they produced, if not goals, assists. And Prestiani does not have that. So therefore, you said Dodi came in, and right away he's one reason I think that we came back and tied the game.
Bill, what do you think?
I think he's he's needing some of that tough Mourinho love that Andreas got when Mourinho first got here. Because Sheldrup from the beginning of the season to Sheldrup now, completely different player. And it was
but Sheldrup
Mourinho.
goes through those moments. Remember against Sporting last year, he was like
but he wasn't as consistent.
It wasn't as consistent as this, dude.
Yeah.
This has been like 5-6 games where he's been like balling out.
I would say more. Yeah, he's been definitely
like
better.
The last year was the semifinal, the Taça da Liga, the final, and even in the final, I don't think he played great. He just scored the goal.
No. And then he had a good game against Ferenc for the Taça Portugal, which was right after, and then he kind of had a dip.
Right. So 3 games at a decent level. Right now, he's going at like 2 months of playing really high level and playing well. And again, coming up with the goals and assists, like that's the big factor. He's not just playing well; he's getting the production out of it.
I think his first real game against Real Madrid, the 4-2, that I thought he was phenomenal. But then
Cristiani was.
Cristiani was, and so Sheldrup.
Yeah.
Sheldrup scored the 2 goals, and he was phenomenal. But then I'm talking about like the other 2 games against Real Madrid. I think both of them were gone, not there.
Dude, he was torching Trent in the Bernabeu.
Yeah. And he had a couple balls across the 6-yard box that
Andreas was torching. Torched Trent in the game of the Bernabeu. Yeah, we didn't get the goals, but like he played really well. Dude, torched him. He had him in his pocket the entire game. Yeah, I think Cristiani needs a little bit of that, like the tough. You got to sit for a little bit. We need more out of you because, I mean, it worked for Andreas, and if Cristiani can't handle that type of coaching, and like your production's not there, you need to play better to have your spot. Then like you don't just get your spot for being, like you said, have the raza and the garra, and you run around all over the place. Like there's more to it. There's got to be a production at the end of it, and from him, it's dropped off. The last good game from Cristiani that I can remember was that Real Madrid game, the 4-2. After that, I don't think he's had a game where he's played well.
You saying Sheldrup or Cristiani?
Cristiani.
Yeah, Cristiani's he's been, again, even performances wise, like he's had a couple here and there, but he hasn't really.
He doesn't offer much.
He doesn't contribute. And I was just looking at the stats. So when you think about wingers, right? Benfica's wingers this year, right? You've got Sheldrup, you've got Cristiani, you've got Dodi, and I'll pull those up shortly. But looking at last year, right? When we talk about you need someone more to give you something other than your striker, right? Last year in all competitions, Pavlidis had 30 goals, 13 assists. Di Maria was the second leading scorer with 19 goals, 10 assists. Third was Aktürkoğlu, 16 goals, 13 assists. So between Di Maria and Aktürkoğlu, you've got 29 goal contributions for Di Maria between goals and assists, and you've got 29 for Kerem between goals and assists, right? And right now, between Sheldrup's got 7 goals, 3 assists, so he's got 10, and Cristiani's got 2 and 2. So the two of them combined don't even have enough in comparison to what Di Maria or Aktürkoğlu had, right? And like that's a huge problem. And when you look at, you know, the next ones, you had Amdouni, who had 9 goals, 3 assists. So even Amdouni had 12 goal contributions.
And he barely started.
Correct. You know, and Otamendi had 8 goals. Otamendi had 6 assists last year. 6.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Corners, the far post corners, and he's knocking them back.
But the fact that Otamendi had 6 assists last season, and you've got both our wingers this year combined have 5. Like that's a huge problem, especially for a club like Benfica who wants to compete for titles.
I'm willing to say all our wingers this year don't match the goal contribution from one winger last year.
So I was just looking at it. So I got it up now. So this year,
100%.
Like look at the gap, right? So last year, like I said, you had 30 Pavlidis, 19 Di Maria, and 16 Aktürkoğlu, right? So there was a decent gap between Pavlidis and Di Maria, but it's reasonable.
It should be. It should be a striker. Yeah.
Pavlidis is our leading scorer this year with 29 goals. Next, Sheldrup, 7. There's a 22 goal gap in between our leading scorer and our next leading scorer. That's a huge problem, right? And then after that, Ivanovic, 5 of
five,
all
yep.
people. He's a third leading scorer this year with 5 goals, 2 assists. Next, Barreiro, 4 goals, 6 assists. Freddie, 4 goals, 7 assists. Sudakov, 4 goals, 5 assists. Like, Otamendi's got 3 goals, 4 assists. Otamendi might be top 5 assists for us this season. Like that, you just look at those stats and it's a lot. Like, you see there where the problem is
Yep.
if Pavlidis falls off, which he has in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net,
No one else is
there's
scoring.
no one else. But I mean, even when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, he's got 29 goals. He's one off what he was last season. So despite him going through a rut and struggling, we've still got 9 games left? And he's already got 29 goals. This year, he's got 45 appearances, 29 goals. Last year, he had, let's see how many appearances he had. 57. What'd I say, 49?
He's
this
49
year?
now. Yep.
So he'll end up with, I think there's 9 or 8 games left. So he'll basically end up with the same amount of games played.
Yep.
And he's 1 goal off. Right? He's got 13 assists, where he had 13 assists last year, where I think he's only got 6, right? So he's 7 off from last year in terms of assists. But he also doesn't have guys that are putting the ball in the back of the net.
There's no one else up
He's
there.
got no one else to assist, right? So that's part of the problem, and it's alarming to see that drop off. But the reality is that we've got to find another solution. And when you look at Luca Bacchio's numbers, I know he was injured. He's got 1 goal, 4 assists, right? So he's got, in 913 minutes, he's got 4 assists. Sheldrup's got 1,800 minutes, so double the minutes, and he's got 1 more assist than him. And Prestiani's got 1,500 minutes, so a little bit less than double, and he's got 2 assists. So Luca Bacchio, in almost half the time, has 2 more assists and 1 more assist than the 2 guys that are starting for us.
Yeah.
I mean, the writing's on the wall there. Like, you could just you look at those numbers and it's like, that's why we are where we are, because when your striker's got almost the same goal count as he had last year, but his supporting cast isn't even contributing half of what one guy gave you last year, there's your problem.
Yeah.
It's impossible to compete. So I think it's pretty clear. Do you think, the question is Prestiani's been starting pretty regular. Do you envision a Luca Bacchio starting this weekend away to Aroca?
I would. I don't think Mourinho will.
Do you think he does, Oscar?
No, I think Mourinho is going to continue with the 90-minute ready, blah, blah, blah. So, he's going to continue with the team that he has. I think he's going to be persistent on that kind of stuff. I think the only one he changes is actually the midfield.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm interested to see what he's going to do there, just because he did come out and say, like, those two can't play together. Like,
yeah,
they've tried it time and time again. Those two don't work. And, like, what are you going to do now that Freddie is
it worked well at Porto away in the league, where we tied 0-0, which was early.
Yeah, that was just, we played very defensive, like very cautious that game.
But they held their own in the midfield. But we also had Sudakov, who was pressing the ball. Whereas I was talking to someone this weekend where those are the pros and cons of having Rafa in that number 10 slot. Is he will initially press, but then he doesn't, once they break that first press, like, he doesn't give you anything else. If you watch him, he doesn't give you anything else off the ball, which makes it difficult. But do you guys agree with what Rui says here? Prestiani will be sold this summer.
I don't think I don't think anybody's out there to give a good enough offer to let him go.
What's funny is, probably 3 months ago, we were talking about how Sheldrup was going to be sold.
Well, he was going to be
here we are.
To
here we are in March talking about Prestiani's probably going to get sold.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think I've seen enough from Prestiani, or even a few game trend where this guy has goal in him, this guy has assist in him. I haven't seen it since he's been at Benfica. I've seen hustle. I've seen him like try and run, but that doesn't give you I mean, that's all we need from him. We need goals or assists. And he's been at Benfica for how many years now, and I haven't seen it. So does he have it? I don't know.
Yeah, last year he had 19 games, 2 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah, that doesn't have.
He's got 13. He had 13 less games. He's got 13 more games and almost double the minutes, and he's got the same amount of goals, 1 less assist.
Yeah,
and he can't say Pavlidis doesn't score because Pavlidis has 29 goals. So the Pavlidis obviously does score if he gets the ball fed to him. So what's the excuse?
Yeah. Zé Carlos says, boas, passei aqui para dizer que vendo o Bodo a jogar, percebo que o Benfica não joga nada. É verdade que o Bodo joga bem. Mas o Bodo também está no início da época, por isso ainda estão com as pernas frescas. Mas concordo, jogam bem. Would you sell him? I mean, he's 20 years old. Benfica paid, I don't remember how much we paid for him. Was it like 10?
I want to, because wasn't it right around the same time we bought Andreas, and it was more. They were both more or less the same price.
Let me see. I think it was around 10. Here. It was 10 or 9. His market value was 10. Got him for 9. He's 20 years old. First experience in Europe. Do you think this is one of those situations where, like we did with Andreas, where we ship him off on loan, where he can play regularly?
Yeah,
he comes back.
I'd go that route. I would and because if somebody came today and said, at the end of the season, said, "Hey, here's 15 million. Will you take it?" I would.
Yeah, I also don't.
If they offered 15 to buy, you would cut the cord.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if I would.
Less than 15, I would not. I don't think there's enough in there to make me believe he's worth it.
I mean, but we were saying the same thing 3 months ago about Andreas. Like,
no, we're not, because we've seen it. I
100% was. I 100% was like, get this.
I can be pissed this kid is done. Having a slump or being bad for a few games, but we've seen it. Like, we've seen glimpses of what he can do goal wise and assist wise, and being productive. Right? We have not seen it for Cristiani. Doesn't matter how many games he's had against Real Madrid, the 4-2. He had a great game, but hustled because he didn't. I don't even know if he assisted anybody. He had 2 assists that game. Did he assist?
Who? I don't think he did.
Cristiani. Did he get? Did
what
he
game?
The 4-2 game?
No, his only assists were in the same game against Aroca in October.
So
those
even
2 assists
Champions League,
nothing.
Champions League.
He's got 2 assists all season. They came in the same game.
So look at us. We're talking about his best game for Benfica thus far, and he had no contribution to goals that game, and we scored 4.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing.
What does he bring? What does he bring to the table? Like 15 to me will get rid of him.
Yeah, you need to have concrete numbers to be able to play in that position, and like you said, right, working hard and hustling helps. Right, it helps, especially if the rest of the team is contributing. But if the rest of the team's not contributing and you're also not contributing, then there's a problem, right? Because the guy on the other side now is contributing. Your striker's got almost the same amount of goals he had last year, and you're not. And then when you compare it to who was in your spot last year, you're way off. Both of you are way off, nonetheless. But at least the guy on the other side is doing something. You're not doing anything, unfortunately. So I don't know. I don't think I would cut the cord for 15 million just because he's 20 years old. I agree with you, Oscar. I don't think I've seen enough yet to be like, yes, I think he's going to be a top level. I think I've seen glimpses of footwork, but his decision making for me, like, you can have all the effort and anything, but when you get to the decision making in that position, you need to make the right decision at least 50% of the time or 33% of the time. And his numbers tell you that he doesn't make the right decision very often, or else he would have, even if he had a couple of lucky assists, right? He's got 2 and they came in the same game. So something's not adding up. I would go down the route of, let's maybe loan him out to a team where he's going to play regularly. I wouldn't fall into the trap of loaning him out to South America. I know that's been a talking point of maybe going back to Argentina. If they're going to loan him, I would say loan him in Europe where he's going to play, and it's a different type of ball. if they're going to loan him back to Argentina or South America, then I would say just cut the cord and let him go, because I don't feel like he's going to get anything out of going back to Argentina. But
do you think anyone comes knocking, given the UEFA shit and the racism?
That's
claim?
another thing. Good point.
Like
I didn't even think about that. Like that is a big
that. So for me, that I think if Benfica was to move on from him, I think that weighs more than the play and everything. I think if Benfica was to move on from him, it's us trying to just kind of step away, get ourselves away furthest possible from that situation, and try to calm the whole narrative around the club down and kind of remove.
And that's fair. I think the key here is going to be what UEFA's final decision is on this case, right? I think if that's still lingering over his head come the end of the season, then I agree. I think there's probably going to be some clubs that are going to be reluctant of like, I don't want to sign this guy, and then what if he gets suspended or whatever the case may be. I would say, given the fact that Mourinho made the comments that he made a couple of weeks ago about, if it's proven he's done with me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I got the sense of, based on what he said, I got the sense that he probably has some good understanding in the background that nothing's going to come of this, because I can't imagine he would come out and like, I couldn't imagine the way he said and his confidence in what he said and his delivery. I can't imagine that he doesn't have some sort of information in the background that gives him some assurance of like, all right, I'm going to go out there and show that I'm stern and we're standing behind a decision, without knowing that there's some sort of decision already in the background, because then he basically exposes himself where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, this happened. Fuck. All right, now I got to stand by my comments. I got the sense that he almost knows what's going to come of it, and that's why he made those comments. So, but I do agree. I think I didn't even think about that, but I think that's a big piece to the puzzle of what comes of that next step. But if the decision doesn't come before the end of the season, that's definitely going to put a hamper on the decision, which makes it tough for Benfica. But I guess time will tell to see what comes of it. But I think we've talked about this before. I don't think there's anything concrete that they can suspend him on. If they're going to suspend, then it's basically an assumption.
They were so quick to suspend or sanction Real for their fan.
Correct.
The second,
and they only suspended Cristiani because of chaos could have been if he played at Real Madrid. Let's be honest.
So like,
because
the fact
if that
that
happened on the second leg, they still would have been trying to figure it out.
Yeah, the fact that nothing has come out of it yet is
they basically just wanted to avoid any more problems if he was to play. That's what I got out of that. Moving on from that, and I know, let's see, Rui Mark says the Scandinavian and Nordic players are strong and run forever. Let's go get another couple of options. Don't say that name out loud very often. Just so in case scouts are listening to us and they decide they want to go investigate who this bald-headed Scandinavian is, which again, we've talked about that before here, is I don't understand how no one's come knocking for him. Maybe there has been, I don't know.
And we're talking this season him being like on a slump too. Like we're talking about like
the start.
Correct.
He was until Mourinho moved him.
We met from last year, blah blah. And today we can realize that he's our best player.
Until Mourinho 100%. Moved him centrally, he 100% was on a slump.
Was struggling.
He was nowhere near. The second he got put into the position that he loves and he played his whole career, then we saw the Freddie of old. Like it was night and day.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up. Now, question for you in terms of what comes after this. So Benfica's 3 points from second place. We had an opportunity to cut that distance to 4 points from first place, and we could have been 1 point from second place. Nonetheless, we still depend on ourselves for second place. But we're now 7. We're still 7 from first. We're still 3 from second. I mean, realistically, I think we can all agree that 7 points to first place is going to, mathematically, is it possible? Yes, there's 27 points up for grabs. Realistically, I think a miracle is not even the right word for it. I think it would take more than a miracle to turn this around. in 9. Was it 9 games left? Is it 9 or 8? Let's see. We've played 25. There's 34. So there's 9. So 9 games remaining. Yeah, I said 27 points. Yeah. So 9 games remaining. Again, mathematically possible, but realistically, I don't see it happening. There's been talks about, and these have been ongoing, about Roberto Martinez leaving the national team at the end of the World Cup, regardless of what the outcome is. Mourinho wanting to be the national team coach. Pedro Proença, head of the federation, wanting Mourinho to be the national team coach. With that said, Mourinho has said that he doesn't plan on taking his opt-out at the end of the season. Before the Real Madrid game, I can't remember, I think it was the second leg, where Mourinho was asked by Spanish media, and as he was walking into some building, he said, yes, Mourinho's staying. Again, I don't know if those are just, we're saying the things that people want us to say to not create chaos and not create more controversy and more topics or not, but I'll open this up to you, Oscar, and Bill, chime in, and those of you who are tuning in, give us your thoughts. But I've seen the theories of, do you stick with Mourinho and let him, one, keep stability and try to put this team together in a way that fits his style? Or do you once again rip the Band-Aid off, and if Ruben Amorim is available, go get Ruben Amorim, which comes with a whole other variety of changes and alterations to a variety of different things that pertain to first team ball? What would you do, Oscar?
All right. So a lot of things come into play in my view, right? A lot. So Mourinho still doesn't have a team, and is that already in the talks? Like, is he?
I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
All right. So to me, is that already in the talks? Is Mourinho just saying this for the fans right now, but then he's already aware that he's going to the Seleção, and that's why Mourinho doesn't have interviews or job, because he's already lined up to come? That could be a possibility, which I agree could be the most possible solution. I think it's what's really happening. What I would do, and if that was, I would keep Mourinho, and then I'll tell you why. Because we came from Lodge playing a system that Mourinho basically adapted to a new, basically got his players to play the way he wanted. I think if Mourinho has enough time to insert a few players here and there that he picks in the summer, right, in the transfer market, I think Benfica Connect should be, a lot better. Now, if we change the whole system around, because Amorim comes with a 3-back system and changes the whole thing, and remember what Amorim did at Sporting, he had 3 years before Sporting was even a contender, right?
Well, he won his first year.
Second year.
Well, his first year was a half season, but he had 3 months to basically prep for the next season because they were out of the competition. His first full season he won, but then his next 2 seasons they didn't.
And the thing, he ended in 4th or whatever it was, one of the seasons between the Campeonatos, right?
Yep.
So can Benfica do that? No. Can Benfica? Absolutely. If Benfica ends up in a 4th place year,
look at us now. We're in 3rd place, and everyone's in a meltdown.
Like the coach is gone. No, there's no holding nothing.
Correct.
Right? So I personally, I think that would benefit the Benfica the most is continue with Mourinho and having him a transfer market. That's what I always said about Lodge as well. Give him one transfer market so he can build his team and let him finish the season. And then if either you apostar no gajo and you let it go play out, or you don't, and then this is what happens. We change coaches every other 3 months. So I think I will let him go through the transfer market, build this team, and let it continue for next year. And let's see how it pans out.
Bill, you agree? Or you want to flip this on its head?
No, I'm
considering. I think I don't remember what Oscar's position was on it, but I think you and I for sure were not fans of Mourinho coming initially. Oscar, were you a fan? I can't remember if you were or not.
I actually said Benfica needs a Mourinho for discipline because Benfica has a bunch of pussies. I even brought up to Sérgio Conceição just because.
Oh yeah, you were one of those.
So, but Mourinho to me was my choice because Benfica needed somebody with a scene to set up. All
right, Bill, what would you do?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wasn't in favor of Mourinho coming. I had hopes that he could bring, like Oscar said, that discipline and that fight.
And I feel like he has.
Right. That I think we were missing that like a ton.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing is we just invested a ton of money in the team, right? Mourinho's essentially had a whole season with the team, right? Like outside what he came in a month, 2 months into the season.
Yeah, I think it was 4 games. He missed the
Yeah.
first 4
So
games
like
of the season.
yeah. So say 2
4
months. So
league
outside of
games.
that,
Yeah.
he's been with this team the entire season. So he's got a very good understanding of
Yep.
the players that are there, the holes, gaps.
Yep.
So it's with a transfer window with Mourinho is plugging holes, right? Selling off guys you don't need and trying to find adequate replacements and plugging holes and improving the squad. If you go with Ruben, it's a blow up. Like three back system is completely different than the roster we have right now, right? Like some of the players, yeah, you can carry over and they can play, but
I would say outside backs. I think we have I think Dedic and Dahl and Ba can play the wing back. But I think our biggest problem in that formation is 1, our wingers, which we just talked about. 2, center backs.
The 3 center backs, right?
Yeah, but wait, how with the wing backs, with the Dahls, say in this case, say if it's a Ba and Dahl on either side, right? Because Ba can do the whole flank up and down in the speed, right? And obviously Dahl is not that same type of player, but he is also a guy who can come up and cross the ball like you know, I don't want to say Grimaldo, but somebody like something like that, right? So we can those wing backs we have, but what wingers you need up top if you're going to play with wing backs that are doing the crossing?
Because you still got to play with the wing. They're just further forward. They don't have to put as much work in defensively.
Yeah. So how would the lineup look with the players we have today on a 3-back?
I think it would be. I mean, with the current roster, I think the only 3 center backs we have, which is Tony, Tomas, and Otamendi, and then you've got Dahl on one side, you've got Ba or Dedic on the other side.
Okay, and
then you got 2 center mids. You're gonna have Auschnitz for sure, and then you could put Barreiro or Rios there.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna have a number 10, right? So either Rafa or Sudakov, and then you've got Pavlidis, and then you've got your 2 more advanced wingers, which is going to be Luke Bakio and
wait, there's too many players there, aren't there?
No,
we have
4-3.
The 5 in the back.
So you got 3 center backs.
Yeah.
Then you've got 4
with the wing backs.
Counting the wing backs.
Okay. So you got 5 there.
So I'm putting the wing backs in the mid. So 3 center backs.
3-4. It's 3-4.
You've got Ba. I might have had one extra. Ba. Yes. Yeah, because then so you basically take out.
You don't have
10.
a 10. Yeah, you don't have the 10.
Yeah, I had an extra. So take out. Either you move Rafa wide, or you have.
And I think because I think they're going to be playing more interior because the wing backs.
Correct. They're going to come inside. Correct.
Yes. So Rafa in that position would.
And Luke Bakio likes to come inside.
Correct.
And Rafa is better on the inside than he is on the outside right now.
So I think in that scenario, Rafa would actually be a better addition, I think, to the team playing that way because he basically the wing backs are going to do the crossing and he just can go.
Correct. But the problem with that is, I mean, you look at the Sporting team that Ruben Amorim had. Like he wants those guys, you know, the Jenny Catamos, the Kindas, the Nuno Santos, those guys. They've got to be high energy, high effort. As soon as you lose that ball, and Rafa's not going to give you that right now.
No, I'm not. I don't.
So that I'm just saying because of the current squad, right? So like that's an area, like I said, I think the wingers are an area that we'd have to improve. For me, if you move to that formation with Ruben Amorim, your center backs and your wingers are going to be your biggest targets for making changes. Versus if you stay with the stability of what Mourinho's got, you're playing 4 at the back. I think you've got a couple of pieces that you need to move and change, but I don't think it's as drastic because if you go to 3 center backs, right? Otamendi's probably there's rumors that he's done after this season.
Well, even if you had 3, if he stays, 3-back system doesn't.
But that's what I'm saying. You still need to go get 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're 3 are starting, right, you've got Joshua Winder, you've got the kid from the B team that played at the Dragão in the Taça. Is it Gonçalo?
Bayou City, whatever his name is.
Who?
What's the right back that we played?
Benjaki.
Oh, Benjaki. He's a right back. The center back, the kid that ripped the seat in the on the bench.
Yeah.
Him. You got him. But like again, you can't. I don't know. It's just too risky to go into it. It's for me. I feel like it's already risky with Tomas and Antonio. Let alone, you got Joshua Winder, who has barely played, and you've got that kid who was on the bench for the game. I don't think he's played. Maybe he played a cup game. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's just too much of a flip on its head. But
and you also have to take into account it's a World Cup year, so preseason is going to be shorter
again.
And if we somehow end up in second, you have Champions League qualifier early on in the season. So if you're shaking up to go to Ruben, you're shaking a lot. Like that's changing a ton in a period where you're not going to have a lot of preseason to work with the players.
But do you think? I think we're all on the same page in the sense of where we think that's probably the right thing to do. Of have some consistency, considering that in the last 3 years it's been chop and change. Do you think if we finish in third place, which would be, I mean, depending on how you look at it, it could be a good thing and a bad thing. Do you think Rui Costa will fall into the pressure of we fell in third place, we don't have Champions League ball, we don't have that money? Like, do you think there's going to be, I mean, there's definitely going to be that pressure if that's the case. Do you think that they give in to that pressure?
They do. If we fall in third, I'm almost guaranteeing that Mourinho leaves to go to Portugal.
Yeah, I can see the shakeup.
You think so?
And again, it could make it. The World Cup could make Rui Costa's decision null and void. Like if Portugal comes knocking, I don't see Mourinho saying no, right? So and he has the opt-out option. So if Portugal plays like crap in the World Cup, and they shake everything up and come knocking to Mourinho, he's going, and then that, I mean. If that's the case, Ruben Amorim is the guy I would go get, and it just makes it easier for Rui Costa and everyone if Mourinho is the one that goes.
I think when by everybody being silent about the situation, you don't see Ruben Amorim making any moves to go to anybody else. You hear.
But he had said when he left, he had said that he wasn't going to make a decision until the summer. So it's almost like you got the sense of like, is he waiting?
All right, and then you hear rumors about Martinez leaving this Seleção after this, no matter how Portugal finishes in the World Cup. So that's already a number 2 big eye opener that's might be happening. You hear rumors that Mourinho said he wants to coach his national team, right?
Right. Well, it's not rumors. He said it. He said it a ton.
Yeah.
So Mourinho doesn't say anything just for saying. He says it with intent. So he
similar to like all the press conferences that he had talking good about Bruno Lage, he knew in the background that somebody was having a conversation with him.
And like you said earlier, you wouldn't say that about the Prestiani if he didn't know already something in the background. He said he never just says something because
it's not his first rodeo. He knows what he needs to say and when to say it.
So him giving hints about going to the national team is because there's talks already in the background about what's happening.
Of course.
So to me, if I was a gambling man and I wanted to put my money on something, is exactly that. He's going to go to the national team, and Mourinho's going to come to Benfica, and we're going to be basically and I think Rui Costa is assuming we finish third.
If we finish third, I think it makes things a lot
easier to make that decision.
Switch. Yeah. If we get to second, I mean, again, people criticized Rui Costa last year for essentially the same thing. No preseason, like no window, no preseason, shorter period. Like that's why he didn't make the change. Again, it's
but then it backfired on him.
It backfired. I mean, he had to pull the trigger.
He wanted to stay with consistency. Kept Lodge.
Correct.
And throughout, because we didn't have a season to change it right away because we were in the World Cup, and then it backfired on Rui Costa because he had to fire him 3 games in.
Yeah.
And then that made it look a lot worse. So
that's the problem. He doesn't. If you're gonna do it,
season over.
Correct. That's what I was gonna say. If you're gonna make that decision, you got to die on that hill.
Correct. Yeah. So you do it like season ends in May or whatever it is. You do it. It's it. Mourinho's done. This Ruben Amorim's coming in, and then Mourinho's probably already in talks to replace Martinez. And then it kind of backfires on Mourinho if Martinez wins the World Cup. And then
but nonetheless, you can't, like you said, Benfica can't wait till the World Cup, till Portugal's done with the World Cup.
No,
we can't go another preseason not knowing what the hell's going to happen. Even for the players, right? Like, is he staying? Is he going? Right? Because they're hearing this stuff too.
Correct. No, I think the decision has to be made right at the end of the season. No matter what position we in, like we're going to be saying, okay, Mourinho's going to stay the extra season. We opted for him to renew, or Mourinho is not going to stay the next season. This is our new coach, and the new season starts right now with Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, I agree. I just hope that they are able to do that, because I just get the sense that there's going to be this waiting game of once the World Cup's over, and then it's just like I feel like we're going to end up getting caught with our pants down again, and it's just going to be.
I don't see them being. I mean, nothing to this point from the Direção would lead me to believe that they're going to be proactive and make the decision ahead of time. I mean, it's true. Every decision they made with manager is reactive, right? Like,
correct.
We're standing behind him. Rough spell. Oh, he's gone. We're done.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it's been. They did it with Roger. They did it with Lage, and we'll see if they do it with Mourinho. Yeah. But it's been very reactive, right? Like, 1 week we're behind him. The next week, nope, he's gone.
I think with the Mourinho's or like I think Mourinho has a lot to say with this decision.
I don't. It's 100% in his. The ball's 1,000% in his court.
So I don't think it's like in Lage. I don't think had a lot to do with the decision. Rui Costa made the decision with pressure. Mourinho, I think, is more like, okay, I want to go to the national team, figure something out.
I agree. I think this decision is 1,000% Mourinho and 0% Rui Costa. I think Rui Costa wants him because he brings a different element. He's got the communication that we haven't had in a long time. Right. So he's able to absorb a lot of that pressure that comes from the outside. And it's basically, do you want to stay or do you want to go? Right. And I don't think Rui Costa really has a say in it, which is unfortunate because we're at the mercy of a manager when the should be making the decision.
The contract says that, though. It does.
Correct. But I feel like Benfica should be in a position. I get that he has an opt-out, but I think Benfica should be in a position where they can say, listen, I'm not going to wait. I understand that you have an opt-out and we have an opt-out as well, but I need an assurance from you that regardless of before the World Cup starts, regardless of what's going to happen, they win or they don't win, or Martinez goes or doesn't go, you're with us 100%, because we can't go in, right? They're surely already planning next season, right? You can't go into another season planning with one thought process and one manager, and then the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, and it's like, oh fuck, well that guy's not going to be here anymore, right? So all right, here's the tools, you got to figure it out.
But how do you know in the background Mourinho's not already preparing that season
for Porto? He is. Oh, he's 100% already preparing.
They are, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Amorim.
Amorim.
There's been rumors that's been the case too. That like there's certain players that they're already targeting because it fits his and that's what he wants.
Correct.
And
so he could this already could be a done deal in the back.
But if that's the case, I would prefer that, because that tells me Benfica is in control of the decision.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, like right after the season ends, Amorim comes out, says it is his last game and all that, and we move on with Amorim.
And that's what I would prefer.
To prepare the season.
I would prefer to keep the consistency, but if there's going to be a change, I want Benfica to be in charge of that change and the decision, and not be at the mercy of, all right, we need to keep you on hold because we're waiting to figure out what Mourinho wants to do. Oh, by the way, okay, he's going to jump ship and it's now July. All right, now you can, right? Like, I think Benfica has to be the driver of the decision and can't be at the mercy of him, because they both have an opt-out. So it's like, listen, if you're still unsure, we can't go into the season unsure, right? If it works out for you for Portugal, great. If it doesn't work out for you for Portugal, then it was a risk you took. Right. Correct. But we can't be at the mercy of, you don't know, you're on top of the fence and you don't know which side you want to go to.
Yeah, but I think knowing what I know about Mourinho.
But I think that's going to be what's going to happen.
If he does leave Benfica, and he probably leaves right at the end of the season, he leaves, it's because he already has assurance with Pedro Proença.
I agree with that.
He's not going to leave without
he's not going to be like, I think Pedro Proença has already said your job is guaranteed.
1,000%.
So no matter what happens in the World Cup, we can win the World Cup, but Martinez is gone, and your job is guaranteed there. So
I would be surprised if he stays and Martinez leaves and he stays at Benfica. I'd be very surprised, but I think that would also be telling of the rumor of he is a Benfica fan. If he stays and Martinez leaves, Yeah, because he knows what the decision's going to be with Martinez. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But if he opts to stay with Benfica and Martinez ends up moving on, I think that'll tell us a little bit, or at least validate for me.
And that gives me another reason to believe as to why they signed the contract with an option to renew.
Correct.
Because they knew after the World Cup, I think moves are going to be made in this list.
Well, there's been rumors for even before Mourinho got to Benfica, that Martinez was done after the World Cup.
Correct, but they won the Nations League, so that they kicked the can down the road.
Yeah, made it hard. Correct. All right, to close this off just quickly, again, we're 3 points from second place. We got Aroca away this weekend. We've got Vitória at home, Casa Pia away, Nacional at home, Sporting away in April, Moreirense at home, Famalicão away, Braga at home, and Estoril away to end the season. What do you think, Oscar? Where do you think we end up falling on this table? Do you think we end up falling in third place? Do you think we have the ability to steal second place?
All right, I'll tell you. Like, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna go through the top three's calendar as well.
I can give you Sporting, and I can give you Sporting. I don't know if there's any value in doing Portos, but we can do Portos as well.
Portos is the easiest out of the three. Yeah. Porto. I think the only team they have away is Braga.
Porto's got Moreirense at home, Braga away, Famalicão at home, Estoril away, Tondela at home, Estrela away, Alverca at home, AVS away, and Santa Clara at home, and then they've got the Taça game with Sporting in between them.
Which I think the only game that I see Porto having in the league, not the cup, the league, is Braga away, right? And they usually have their number.
Yep.
Right. So to me, Porto is champions, right? Now, which not only they're 7 points ahead of us and 4 against on Sporting. Now Benfica has obviously the toughest one out of all three, right? We have Casa Pia away is going to be a tough game. That's
tricky.
The only team
Sporting
there.
away,
Sporting
away,
from like Braga home, and we have Estoril away, which is all those games are fucking
And Estoril's playing good ball with Ian Castro as well.
Correct. So all those games are like games that we easily could slip up or lose, right? And then Sporting. I believe Sporting has
Alverca away, Santa Clara at home, Estrela away, Benfica at home, AVS away, Vitória at home, Rio Ave away, and Gil Vicente at home.
Okay, there it is. So Gil Vicente is tough, but they're playing at home. Benfica is only we need to beat Sporting in order for us to even have a chance to second place. We need to beat them because else we forget it, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be in third place. Unfortunately, we have a lot of games that we could lose points, and I think those other two teams have a lot easier schedule.
So where do you think we fall?
Third.
So you think we finish third?
Yes.
Bill, where do you think we fall?
Same. Listen, I said before the Real games in the Champions League, I said I had more confidence going into that tie than I did in Benfica in the league. Right? Like, I don't see us when it comes to. We saw it last year with the Sporting game where we had everything in our hands to win the league. Yeah. We were no shows.
Pissed down our leg. Yes, this weekend again.
This past weekend, everything in our hand to legit take a season,
get back in the race,
and get right back into it. And we come out in the first 45 minutes. That's how we play. There's nothing that this team has done to convince me that we can go. The problem is go to Sporting.
Although our history there is good.
It is. But the teams we would go to Sporting with before were a lot different than this team.
Fair point.
This team has shown me nothing that they can go to Sporting and pull off a game that will take us into second place and just turn a horrible season into a decent season that's going to give us the payday that we need with Champions League. Nothing.
Will, on top of what you just said, I have more faith in Benfica going to Sporting and winning that game than Benfica winning out against the other teams.
I would agree with that too. I would agree. History tells us that. Yeah, I would agree. But do you guys think, quickly to wrap it up, do you think Sporting's result today, 3-0 away to Bodo Glimt, again, it's not decided because Sporting's pretty tough to beat at home. 3-goal difference is obviously substantial, but we've seen crazier things. Do They've also got They got Porto away in the Taça de Portugal, which won't be an easy game, even though they won 1-0 in the first leg. Do you think the outcome of those games could have an impact psychologically? I don't know if you guys saw, but the fans outside of the Sporting bus today in Norway were like yelling and screaming. They were not happy, which is crazy to think given the season that they've had. But they were already pressuring the fans there. Sporting's got they've got Bodo Glimt at home next week, where they've got Alverca. Are they? Oh no, they're off. They're off this weekend. That's what it was. So they've got.
Right?
Yeah, that was the game that I was saying to Paul. So they've got Bodo Glimt next game. They don't play this weekend, and then they go away to Alverca. And the Taça game with Sporting or with Porto is after the Benfica game. But do you think potential elimination out of the Champions League could have some sort of impact on this team? And by the time we face them, which is April 19th, or basically a month from now, do you think that the standings could look different?
Yeah, no. Only difference. I think the only difference is because they're going to be a game behind, right?
They'll be, yeah. So we could potentially be even on points with a game.
We can potentially go to them with the same points as them, right?
Correct, because I don't know when they make. So we've got, let's see, they've got 1, 2, 3 league games before we play them, and we've got 4 league games. So they make up their game after us.
Yeah, so we can potentially go to them.
Psychologically, we could go them even on points.
Correct, and then leave that game 3 points ahead.
Correct.
Gives
Or
them pressure
one,
on a make-up game that they have to win in order to come up with even tie us.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in order for us to do that, we have to legit beat Casapia away and Guimarães at home and Roca away. So yeah, that's what the games I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like the only like hope would be that like Sporting has made a ton of come back and won a ton of games in the last like 5-10 minutes, right? Like
yeah.
So
they had like 7 in a row.
The hope would be like,
but that's gonna end,
right?
Yeah.
So like potentially,
and it has,
right? But like that would be like the only thing. Like if they don't pull one out of their ass like that in a game where they shouldn't win, and don't pull out a goal at the end to win it, right? Like that would be it. But
they
tasted their own medicine this weekend when they drew Braga in the last kick of the game as well, right? So like those are the goals that they've scored, 6 games in a row to win games or to tie games. So I'm hopeful that
the tide could be turning. Remember that Porto had 2 chances to put the season away, and he fucked them up both at the last minutes of the game against Sporting.
And up 2-0 against Benfica, and you fucking pissed down your leg.
Correct. So either one of those games they win, they're champions.
Agreed. Yeah, and they basically left the door open still.
Correct.
Even though the door is not wide open, but they're still mathematically.
I was just checking something. They have the next 4 games for Porto are tough. They have Stuttgart now away for tomorrow.
Correct.
They have Moreirense at home. Moreirense is 6th place. So they're not like a shit team. Then Stuttgart at home and Braga away.
Yeah, so three tricky games.
3 tricky games, and with possibly
or 4 counting tomorrow's.
Yeah. So and they're coming from a loss and a tie. They're not coming from
and that was my point with Sporting as well. They're coming from a deflating draw in the last kick against Braga and a 3-0 thumping away to Bodo.
Correct.
Right? Let's see how they bounce back.
So if Porto has a loss tomorrow against Stuttgart, which in Germany away to a German club, very possible, right?
Correct. Won't be easy.
So you never know what could happen. It could be the cliff.
Dude.
And
Oscar was waiting for that for 3 years from Sporting, and now it's just shipped up north.
I'm just seeing right now, Porto has the easiest schedule, but the games in between that easy schedule, the Stuttgart to the world and the Sporting Taça Portugal game, because they have to beat Sporting for Taça Portugal because they lost 1-0 in the first game, right? Yep. So it's not like they can sit back and defend or play with their reserves or whatever it is. They have to compete. So you never know, it can be tricky. And if they lose to Braga, when they come back against Stuttgart, they lose to Braga away. then it really gets tricky.
Well, let's hope that a month from now when we play Sporting that the trickiness is in full effect and the excitement's back in us. But until then, we'll keep a lid on the optimism for now.
I mean, who's this Oscar? This isn't Oscar. This isn't.
5 minutes ago, he was talking about like, yeah, the title's over, and now 5 minutes later, he starts looking at his notes, and he's doing the math in his head, and he's like, "Well, hold on a second."
It's because if I was only looking at the league games, I totally get it. But I think it gets tricky when they have these European games in there and the Taça de Portugal games. In between, and not only that, after the Braga away, they have Famalicão, which is another team that's playing good this season, right? And then Estoril away. So think about it. Probably 6 games in a row, where it could be very tricky for Porto.
That's it. Oscar's already changed his mind.
This fucking kid's back on the wagon.
Started doing analysis.
Jesus Christ!
It's all about the cliff. If once you fall off the cliff, it's gonna be tough to get up.
I don't think I've ever wanted that cliff that you talk about so much more than I do right now. So keep praying for it. All right. If you know anyone that prays a lot, let them slip that into their thoughts for us, please, and maybe it'll come true.
I'll take care of that.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Our order has been placed, Bill, so I hopefully we'll be in a good spot. Gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure. Does Benfica play Saturday or Sunday? I think it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, and with the time change, it's at 4:30 kickoff, I believe. Let me see fixtures.
Yeah, 4:30 on Saturday.
4:30 on Saturday. Yeah. So 4:30 kickoff on Saturday. We'll be back next week to recap that game, hopefully with a W, and even on points with Sporting, who doesn't play this weekend. For those of you who are tuning in, again, I wasn't able to get the stream up on X for some reason. There's an issue, but those of you listening back after the fact, feel free to jump in on any of the platforms and leave your thoughts, your comments. Again, don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate that. And that's it for.
I know you stopped this, but we never talked about the PK, did we?
I was literally just thinking.
Oh yeah, let's do that quickly. 60 seconds, Oscar. I know what your opinion is, but let the people know what you think.
No, all right. So looking at that PK, and if you look at the Porto Aroca game, where was it?
Oh yeah.
Where what's the guy's name?
Was it Fofana or whatever his name is, or Murphy?
No, it was
Murphy's the forward. What's the midfielder's name? It's not Fofana, is it?
It was a black guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Murphy.
It's Fofana. Fofana, yeah, that's his name. I wasn't sure if that was his name. Yeah, where he kicked the defender.
So he the ball, like the Roca guy is right there, and he goes and kicks the ball. The way he's kicking the ball, like he puts his leg wide, so he hits the guy's leg and then falls, and they call it PK. If that's a PK, and what Diogo Costa did to Pavlidis is where he kicks his leg too wide when Pavlidis is trying to run by, and not only does he trip him with his foot, but then his knee goes into his thigh.
Yeah.
So if that's not a PK, then I don't know nothing about this game. I really don't know nothing about the game. I don't know about the rules. I don't know nothing about VAR, because VAR is the one who actually called the Porto PK.
Yeah. So that's the thing for me. Like, from the ref's point of view, it's hard to see with just the amount of bodies and legs.
I get that. But he also calls a foul against Pereira, which there's no foul there.
But the VAR has the camera from behind the net. That camera angle is fucking clear as day. Like, you see Diogo Costa take that huge wide step.
It's not like you put I saw a lot of commentators say like, it was
gaining position,
position to grab the ball. No,
he's not. He comes wide.
Yeah. And then Pavlidis, who's running by,
he hits him twice, not just once. He hits him twice before he gets the ball.
And I don't know why people say it might be soft PK. To me, that's a bigger PK than the Fofana was against Aroca. 100%.
Yeah, I think looking at it, I think it could have and should have been a PK, but more so, like you said, I just feel like every week the criteria is different. Like, criteria for ones is one. That Fofana one is clear as day. We had the penalty in Santa Clara with Sport. Like, I feel like every week it's so subjective. It's like, okay, this week this is a penalty. Next week, oh, that's not a penalty because he gains position or he's trying to, like, if it's going to be those bad calls, then make it consistent for everyone, right? And I posted on social media, like, the Portuguese league is known for these little fucking ticky-tacky fouls where someone gets next to you, throw yourself on the ground, you grab the ball, free kick. Okay, and if that's what the Portuguese league is, then that's what the Portuguese league is. But if we're going to have these inconsistent subjective calls week in and week out, then let's just make it universal. It's the same shit for everyone. It's bad calls, bad subjective calls, these ticky-tacky fouls in the box or outside the box. Then let's just be consistent. If team A gets those ticky-tacky bullshit calls, then team B's got to get them too. We can't play this game of, okay, that one's going to get it, but that goes for everyone. That goes for the little teams, that goes for the big teams. If that's what we're going to be, then let's be it for everyone. Like, we can't fucking pick and choose. And that's why, for me, given all the penalties that we've seen this season, I could probably pick out 5 or 6 that are far less of a penalty than that one was.
100%.
Correct.
Yeah.
But again, it's in the 90-something minute. And
against a team that just came back from a 2-0.
Correct. You know the controversy that's going to come if that gets called. Unfortunately, I mean,
it's the same thing on that. I forget what Porto player was that tackle on Rafa. I didn't see that live. I saw it after the fact. How that doesn't
15 minutes into the game.
How that doesn't get looked at by VAR? Ba got sent off at Braga for essentially the same fucking shit.
Yeah. He doesn't. I don't think he means to do it, but he does.
No, but he does it.
The guy from Juventus got sent off against Bodo Glimt. Was it
the
Bodo?
same thing that?
No, it was against.
No, it was Galatasaray.
No, it was in the league. He jumps up for a header and comes down and steps on the guy, and he gets.
Yeah, that was Galatasaray.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
it was the same thing that happened to Borrero against
Real. Doesn't mean to do it. Yeah, or he doesn't mean to do it, but he got sent off.
Yeah.
Gabri Veiga, I don't think he means to do it, but he does it.
No.
But again,
the intent isn't a part of the equation.
A foul doesn't mean if you meant to do it.
Yeah.
If you did it, you did it. It's a foul.
Yeah.
So I think we're all on the same page, but it's painful. I know your buddy Rob commented on the video, Oscar, and was like, "Oh, were you talking about Froholt?" I think he was trying to say that there was a foul against Froholt on that play.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I didn't even bother to entertain it just because I don't have the energy to deal with it. But yeah, I think we're on the same page on that. But it's past us. Let's see what we got this weekend. Hopefully we can even the tide on with Sporting into second place and put some pressure, at least temporarily. As always, a pleasure, gentlemen. Again, for everyone tuning in after the fact, feel free to comment and leave us your thoughts. And again, follow us on social media. Appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Have a good evening. And as always, Viva o Sport Lisboa e Benfica. Good night.
Later, guys.